Imagine a world where money buys anything, even invisibility, where the wealthiest among us carve out their own kingdoms, entire islands hidden away from the rest of the world. These aren't just getaways, they're the ultimate escape, far from the reach of government, society, or law. There are whispers about what really happens on these islands, parties that make your wildest fantasies seem tame, secretive gatherings where the world's most powerful figures meet behind closed doors. Some say it's where the rich test the future, unbound by regulation or ethics. Others say it's where empires rise and fall, where alliances are born, and where secrets of unimaginable influence are forged. Take, for example, Richard Branson's Necker Island. The British billionaire didn't just buy a slice of paradise. He created a world where only the elite are welcome. Here, there are no cameras, no outside eyes, just Branson's carefully curated guest list. On the surface, it's a place of retreat, relaxation, and celebration. But what really goes on behind the closed doors of his exclusive Necker summits? These gatherings draw some of the most powerful people in tech, finance, and politics. Discussions happen here that will never make the headlines. Deals are struck, alliances are formed, and strategies that could shape the world are quietly set in motion. But what about those billionaires who don't just visit an island? They take over the entire place. Larry Ellison didn't just buy a piece of paradise. He took over 98% of the Hawaiian island of Lanai. But his vision goes far beyond beaches and resorts. Here, he's conducting experiments in sustainable energy, eco-friendly agriculture, even high-tech health research. It sounds visionary, even benevolent. But who is it really for? The local residents are simply left to wonder. Why this place? Why all this secrecy? Lanai has become a testing ground for the future, a future that most of us will never be able to afford. Ellison envisions a high-tech utopia, but utopias come with a price. The locals? They have no say. They can only watch as their home is transformed into something alien, a playground of ideas that may or may not benefit them. Then there's Little St. James, an island owned by Jeffrey Epstein, a name now infamous worldwide. Far from being a simple retreat, Epstein's private island became a dark symbol of power abused in silence, where he was alleged to have operated a hidden world, a world shielded by money and influence, where disturbing secrets were hidden beneath the guise of paradise. It was here that the worst kind of power was wielded behind closed doors, and the web of connections that stretched to Epstein's island included some of the wealthiest and most influential people on Earth, who visited, dined, and spent time in a place now synonymous with scandal. Epstein's island became a dark blueprint for just how far some will go when they believe they're beyond the reach of accountability. It exposed a reality few could have imagined, a reality that raises questions about what could be happening on other private islands that are still hidden from our view. These islands aren't just playgrounds, they're private kingdoms, a place where billionaires can operate beyond the reach of ordinary laws and norms. Some say these islands are true breeding grounds of power, where the richest people in the world experiment with ideas, genetic modification, AI, advanced surveillance, that they're not ready to test on the mainland. Here, away from any prying eyes, anything is possible. But it gets darker. There are those who believe these islands aren't just secluded retreats. They're private societies, where the elite gather in secret, far from public scrutiny. Behind those palm trees and pristine beaches, some say, lie the dark halls of exclusive networks and secret societies. In the past, the Bilderberg Group was thought to be the gathering of the world's most powerful. But now, many believe the true movers and shakers are operating in places like these, a network of influence, money, and power that few can even imagine. Who are these people who slip in and out of these private worlds? Who receives the coveted invitation to join these secret summits? Only the most powerful, the most loyal, the most influential. It's the ultimate inner circle, and those on the outside will never know what decisions are made, what secrets are shared, or what bonds are forged. Some say these gatherings are orchestrated by unseen hands, a shadow elite that sets the course of global events. And it's not just the well-known billionaires like Branson, Ellison, and Epstein. There are others, far less famous, who own private islands for reasons no one can quite understand. Islands that are shrouded in secrecy, with strange buildings, heavy security, and little information about what happens behind those high walls. Some rumors suggest these islands are used for research into cutting-edge technology, experiments that would never be allowed on the mainland. Artificial intelligence programs so advanced they seem almost alive. Genetic experiments so bold they could change the course of humanity. It's here, in isolation, that the boundaries of science are pushed to their limits, beyond ethics, beyond scrutiny. But why should we care? Because what happens on these islands doesn't stay on these islands. These hidden worlds are where the future is being crafted, a future most of us will never be a part of, a future we're not even allowed to know about. Here, the ultra-rich play God, testing new technologies and theories that will one day shape our world, whether we like it or not. These billionaires live above the law, building empires in silence. And when they return to the mainland, they bring back ideas, technologies, and systems that impact us all, sometimes in ways we may never even realize. Imagine what it's like to live in a world where privacy is absolute, where no government has a say, where the rich, the connected, the powerful are free to create their own laws, their own realities. A world where they can test the limits of morality, conduct experiments that could never be done in public, and make decisions that affect us all. These islands are the ultimate power play, the ultimate escape from accountability. And yet, the question remains, what are they hiding? These islands are full of secrets, secrets that the world's elite will guard at any cost. From secret rituals to hidden alliances, these billionaires live a life we can only imagine. But beneath the surface, there's something darker, something they don't want us to know. Perhaps it's the way they see us, not as equals, but as mere spectators in their game, as pawns in a world where they hold all the power, all the wealth, and all the control. So ask yourself, why do they need this level of privacy? What kind of world do they want to build? And where does that leave the rest of us? These are the questions that haunt us, because these private islands aren't just paradise. They're a window into a hidden world, a world where power is concentrated, where the rules don't apply, and where the future is being shaped in secret. They say that absolute power corrupts absolutely. And if these islands are any indication, the wealthiest among us aren't just escaping to paradise, they're building empires. Empires we may never see, empires that could one day determine the fate of us all. Maybe it's time we start looking behind the palm trees, past the beaches, and into the dark, hidden world of the ultra-rich. Because what they're hiding might be far more than we ever imagined. But remember, they don't want you to know, and they'll do whatever it takes to keep it that way.